Hi everyone, this is Pontus Engström with MTI Investment. Here to talk a little bit about the impact of COVID-19 on SMEs in East Africa. We've seen a whole lot of different strategies used actually across the African continent. From the data we've seen, 54 countries are affected, 72,379 cumulative cases in Africa, but the number of unreported cases is probably very, very huge. The statistics are just simply not reliable. And one of the issues has been the lack of reliable data has led to different strategies. We can see Uganda, on the one hand, has kept very much of a lockdown approach, tried to measure and really try to get a good sense of where the virus is coming from. They seem to have tracked it very well, and they've been able to keep the number of cases down very much according to that. In Tanzania, on the other hand, they have had more challenges finding reliable statistics. They've tested it, and it's been very difficult to test it also. And therefore, because of this, we can see different strategies. But the reality is also that, as the Tanzanian President John Magufuli says, our economy must come first. It must not sleep. If we allow our economy to sleep, we will not receive salaries. So he's pointing to the obvious issue here that if you close down a country like Tanzania completely, people will suffer tremendously. And that might be a bigger threat to the continent. As it is right now, things are improving a little bit. People are, at least in Tanzania, going back to business. We can see the number of personal protection equipment, for instance, sales is coming down. That was very high in the last month, but it's now coming down a little bit. So it seems that it's a little bit now cooling down, at least in terms of the effects. The president is opening up the economy much more, but the impact is still there from the rest of the world, and we will definitely see a lot less tourism and fewer travels to the region, simply because of other countries' restrictions on travels. This will have an effect also on the economy. We will see a slowdown in certain sectors, and also we have already experienced on the ground a little bit of decrease in the willingness of local banks to take risk. This impact could and is affecting employment tremendously. There's been a lot of layoffs, voluntary, people have had to basically take unpaid leave for a long period. Now that's slowly coming back again, so we'll see how that comes. But because of the foreign investments at the moment, probably a little bit weak, it is going to have an effect on the economy. Consumption has declined tremendously, and it's also having an effect both in the cities and in the rural areas, as much of the products produced to be used in the cities are also made in the countryside or the rural areas. Generally, East Africa, at least, has had a very weak health system, and with not enough respirators to simply handle a full-blown COVID-19 impact. So that's also a problem that has been facing the country. So while an event like COVID-19 obviously has a very negative impact on people's lives, on their health, on families, on the economy, it's also a moment in time when things may change for something new. A forest fire causes huge destruction, but there's actually life that totally depends on a forest fire happening. So this is probably the case also of a devastating event like COVID-19. We can see that this has led to a lot of innovation. People have been innovating, coming up with face masks, coming out with innovative systems to clean hands, to engage in business from home. We have been working a lot more using digital video like this. So we as humans tend to innovate and work around problems very well. We can also see a lot of larger aid organizations or investment organizations scramble to find solutions also to help in these moments in time. And there are large guarantee schemes, for instance, being prepared in various areas like solar energy. As we see, digitalization is definitely increasing, and that's also an effect in retail, the way people consume products. While we've seen it previously, e-commerce having difficulties to take off, COVID-19 per definition has had and moved some business over into digital space, although probably not as fast as we would have thought. And the other focus that happens here in this event is that we go from a global to a domestic focus, and that's actually hand in hand with what East Africa already was doing, was trying to rely less on the international community for its business and to compete and be more competitive with its own products and services and sectors. So we see several sectors in this environment with this particular high potential. That's medtech, clean tech, IT, telecommunications, and e-learning. We see, for instance, in our portfolio investments that we've made a lot of opportunity. And one of the companies that we're working with is Shambani Milk, an excellent dairy producing company based in Morogoro, making yogurt, milk, mtindi and various products, seeing very high growth. And in this environment, the focus on healthy products, especially healthy dairy and products, has never been higher actually. So we're seeing very good progress in a business like that. When it comes to waste management, sanitation is ever more important than before, and in the aftermath of the corona crisis, it's going to be more important to have good sanitation and waste handling. We have seen, of course, with the tourism sector having a very negative impact on hotels, of course, but in order to revitalize Zanzibar, for instance, and the whole tourism industry, it's going to be very important to have good waste handling and good sanitation. So a company like Sunrec is very well positioned to do well in the future. One company that we have that has been struggling also as an effect of the corona has been at Soko. And with people getting a little bit worried about the economy, perhaps they are buying less what I would call luxury products. But what we've done here is pivoted the business model a little bit more. We are making more local products, which is going to be in more high demand, we see. We're also focusing a little bit more on hygiene. And hygiene and luxury and locally made is going to be a success for Soko going forward. Lastly, our fourth business that we've been working very much with has been eco homes, building affordable homes across the country. We're working together with a Danish architect at building malaria-free housing or healthy homes all over Tanzania, actually, in particular in the south. And the COVID-19 outbreak actually caused a lot of demand for better housing. Maybe you need a home office made, maybe you need a new bathroom next to your entrance, for instance, and also the way people live in their homes, that they maybe need to have separate rooms and good ventilation. All of these things are changes that we're seeing in our current portfolio companies. All of these things together taken is that we see a huge opportunity to be very important and continue to be very important for the region. And here is a video of our business.